Our next guest is RSU Instructor Curtis Sparling, and the subject, or one of the subjects, is drones. It's good to have you with us, my friend.
It's great to be here.
I was going to say, if looks are deceiving, you're a quiet, easygoing fella with an explosive array of subjects you're going to lay on us today. First is which, I understand, is the gaming drone?
Yes, and when we say gaming drone, it's actually a competition that's sponsored by Google. We hold on campus each year, and what that entails is our capstone students at Rogers State University orders all of the pieces and parts that would be required of one to build a drone, with exception of the body. And then what we do is we advertise on our website to local high schools and middle schools if they want to participate in the competition. My students will take this box of electronics pieces and parts out to the local schools and act as mentors on them building a drone in order to come back to RSU and run it through an obstacle course for a competition.
Sweet. I'd love to see some of that sometime. When do you have it? Is it an annual thing?
It is. We typically hold it the week after spring break. Unfortunately, this year, we were unable to get the parts in time to hold it spring, so we're having to put it out until fall semester.
Let me ask you a question. I don't want to put your feet to the fire here, but I want to put your feet to the fire.
Let's go.
With all the interest in drones,
Mm-hmm.
There are safety factors involved here.
There absolutely are. And that is part of the process on going through the actual build and the flight for the competition. Mm-hmm. We have a specific station set up to where my students go through after the build is completed and right before they go on the course, to where they walk through electrical safety of the machine itself and actual flight. And of course that happens as the build is going on also.
And there are also rules and regs they have to live with, are there not?
Oh, sure. As far as FAA regulations, the drones that we build fall within those requirements. Frankly, I have yet to see one of the drones built for the competition that did not meet the weight requirements for it to fall under FAA regulations. So these are large machines that we're putting in there.
So they have to be governed.
They do when they're flown outside. We hold our competition inside.
Emily Spivey is our producer director
Mm-hmm.
for Perspectives. Emily has a drone. She does incredible video work with it. I got to tell you, she does incredible work anyway, but
She does.
when she's shooting video with that, you would swear it's a basket cam attached to a helicopter. I mean, it's that smooth.
Yes.
But that didn't come easy. She had to learn to do it. And in so doing, she had to learn all the rules and regs that you have to live with when you fly a drone.
You know, I'm happy you bring that up. We're actually teaching non-credit workshops for that very thing as part of our continuing education program.
She has some video we want to share with the folks at home, and as you see it, perhaps you can shed some light on it. Emily, if you could roll that. Is this now what you were talking about earlier?
This is actually Aero Games, the competition that we typically hold in the spring, but it's going to happen fall of this year. And what you're seeing is the vertical slalom that I can't remember the name of the school those students are from, but those are actually middle school students that have built that drone.
No kidding.
Under the mentorship of our learners here at RSU, and are flying it through the course.
Through an obstacle course.
Yes.
And they get points.
They do.
And they're in competition with those other students.
They absolutely are. The way that we set it up is that they receive points for each obstacle that they successfully navigate. That one is a drop-in landing, as you can see, they're doing it there, and then they're going to have to fly back out of that box. So they receive points for each successful obstacle, and if the team successfully makes it through each of the obstacles, then we go to how long it took them to completely navigate the course.
You know, when I was that age, I was more concerned with how many bullets the Hopalong Cassidy carried in his gun belt.
I get it.
This was not available.
It wasn't. It wasn't. And I love that one. We actually have an industrial fan inside that box, and as they fly over it, they have to be able to adjust the pitch and the yaw of the drone to maintain control of it. Mm-hmm. And I got completely distracted on what we were talking about.
Oh, we were talking about the difference between
We were.
my generation didn't have access to this sort of thing, and now these young kids come along and they're mastering things that are way beyond their years.
They certainly are. And as an institution, Rogers State University is thrilled to be able to be part of that process.
You brought some props with you. I want you to start, and I want the last one to be the hand.
I'm with you.
Explain to us what you got.
Sure. So what I've brought here today is some of the mini drone bodies that have been 3D printed within the workshops that we're doing. Another thing,
Hold those up where they can get a look at them.
Absolutely.
Now those were made here.
They were. We designed these bodies on computer-aided drafting 3D modeling and converted that to an STL file and then printed it on 3D printers that Google and Mid-America Industrial Park was frankly helpful enough to aid in building of the lab. And then we have motors, propellers, controllers that we mount within these bodies for mini drones on the workshops. And we actually take the learners through this process of computer-aided drafting, 3D printing, solid state soldering, and then take them through a course like what we just watched, 1/3 scale in a Saturday 9 to 5.
My goodness. All right, we're starting to get cramped on time, and
Okay.
I don't want to do that. But let's go to the hand.
Absolutely.
Explain that, if you would.
And this is something I'm
Hold that where they can see this.
Great. This is something I'm really excited to talk about. Again, Google, Mid-America Industrial Park, and Rogers State University have allowed us to build this fabrication lab, and it's not just doing the fun stuff with drones. What this actually is the forearm and hand, she calls it her lucky fin, of a 6.5-year-old girl that was adopted from China. As you can see, some of the digits are not there, and she is anxious to ride her bicycle. Mm-hmm. And what we're going to be able to do here at Rogers State is aid her in that. Using this plaster mold, we're going to do a 3D scan, turn it into an STL file, and then within our computer-aided drafting system, we're going to invert that file and 3D print out a prosthetic to be able to attach it to her bike and get her out and about as she wants to be.
That is so cool. I mean, that is so cool that you can do that.
Well, it's not me. It's our learners here. It really is.
Golly, does the child know?
She does. As a matter of fact, she brought her bicycle in so we could see how she sits on it. And I have to tell you, it is the sweetest bike I've ever seen. The bell on it, and then the carriage in the front. You were talking about what you would have liked to have done as a kid. I wish I had a bike like that.
Well, I got to tell you, the work you're doing is instrumental in the growth of no telling how many children, and no telling how many aged children, because a lot of us are children at heart and also would like to come watch and get involved. Is the competition open to the public to watch?
It absolutely is. The stadiums usually fill up, but we have participants coming in and out. There's absolutely room for anybody who wants to come, watch, support. They're welcome.
Would you do me a favor? Keep us appraised of the time frame and the situation. Let us help promote that, because I think, quite frankly, it's something more people need to know about. Everything that you guys are doing.
I agree.
And I want to know when this youngster is able to ride her bike with both hands. That's got to be that's got to be video we've got to get.
Agreed.
So let us know ahead of time.
I absolutely will.
Hey, thank you for coming by.
Thank you for having me.
We appreciate you. I'm, needless to say, going to start showing up on a regular basis. Again, we'll talk more as we get closer to it. That's all the time we have for this edition of Perspectives. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time.